The courtroom was quiet, except for the faint shuffle of papers and the low hum of whispered conversations. It was supposed to be a routine morning session. Nothing dramatic, nothing unusual. Lawyers reviewed their notes, spectators checked their phones, and the bailiff stood near the door, keeping a watchful eye on the room. But within minutes, that calm atmosphere would explode into a moment no one there would ever forget. A sharply dressed woman in a beige suit stepped into the courtroom and took a seat in the front row. She looked composed, confident, and completely out of place among the usual defendants and witnesses. Some people assumed she was a lawyer. Others thought she might be part of the court staff. No one really paid her much attention, except one officer. Officer Daniels had a reputation around the courthouse. He was known for being strict, loud, and sometimes a little too aggressive. That morning, he was already in a bad mood. A late call, a long shift, and a tense exchange with a defendant earlier had pushed him to the edge. When he saw the woman sitting in the front row, he immediately walked over. "You can't sit there," he said, his voice sharp. "That's reserved seating." The woman looked up calmly. "I was told to wait here." Daniels crossed his arms. "By who?" She didn't raise her voice. "Court administration." He scoffed. "Yeah, I doubt that. Move to the back." Several people in the room glanced over. The tension was starting to build, but the woman didn't move. Instead, she reached into her purse and calmly said, "You can check my profile if there's any confusion." That only seemed to irritate him more. "I said move, now. I'm not causing a disturbance," she replied. "I'm just waiting." What happened next stunned everyone. Without warning, Daniels grabbed her arm and yanked her up from the seat. When she resisted, shocked, and trying to pull away, his frustration boiled over. His hand came across her face in a loud, echoing slap. Gasps filled the courtroom. A woman in the back dropped her phone. A lawyer stood up halfway out of his seat, unsure of what to do. The woman stumbled slightly but didn't fall. She steadied herself, eyes wide, one hand touching her cheek. For a second, the entire room froze. Then the courtroom doors opened. The judge stepped in, followed by a small group of officials. He stopped mid-step, taking in the stunned expressions and the officer standing over the woman. "What is going on here?" the judge demanded. No one spoke. Daniels straightened his uniform. "Just handling a disruptive individual, Your Honor." The judge's eyes moved to the woman. Recognition flashed across his face instantly. His expression shifted from confusion to shock. "Officer," he said slowly, "do you have any idea who that is?" Daniels frowned. "Just someone refusing to follow instructions." The judge's voice turned cold. "That is Chief Angela Brooks. She was sworn in this morning as your new police chief. She's here on an unannounced visit to observe court procedures." The words hit the room like a thunderclap. Daniels' face drained of color. His mouth opened, but no sound came out. He looked from the judge to the woman, then back again, as if hoping someone would say it was a joke. But no one laughed. Chief Brooks stood quietly, her expression calm but firm. The red mark on her cheek was impossible to miss. The room was silent except for the faint buzz of a ceiling light. You're the chief?" Daniels stammered. She nodded once. "And you just assaulted your commanding officer in a courtroom full of witnesses." A murmur spread through the spectators. Phones were quietly lifted. Someone whispered, "He's done." The judge cleared his throat. "Officer Daniels, step back immediately and remove yourself from the front of the court." Daniels hesitated, then slowly stepped away. His earlier confidence was gone. His shoulders sagged as the weight of what he'd done settled in. Chief Brooks looked around the courtroom. "This is exactly why I chose to arrive unannounced," she said, her voice steady. "Respect, professionalism, and restraint should never depend on someone's title or position. They should be the standard for everyone." No one argued. The judge nodded. "Well said, Chief." He then turned back to Daniels. "You are relieved of duty pending an immediate internal investigation." Daniels swallowed hard. "Your Honor, I." "Not another word," the judge said. Two other officers approached and gently escorted Daniels toward the exit. The same man who had walked in with authority now left under a cloud of silence and stares. Chief Brooks adjusted her jacket and took a seat again, this time with the entire courtroom watching her with a new level of respect. The tension in the room slowly shifted from shock to reflection. People whispered about what they had just witnessed. Some shook their heads. Others simply sat quietly, thinking about how quickly things had changed. One moment, she was just another face in the crowd. The next, she was the highest ranking officer in the room. And for Officer Daniels, that single slap didn't just echo through the courtroom, it echoed through his entire career.